Welcome back, y'all, to Faith Walk and Real Talk with Tye and Chanel. Now, if you've been rocking with us, you already know we get real about the tough stuff. And if this is your first time, you picked the perfect episode because today it's about to get dramatic. We're talking betrayal on a level that'll make you clutch your pearls, best friends turning into enemies, relationships falling apart, and a confrontation that almost turned into a full-on brawl. But more than the drama, we're here to talk about the aftermath, the pain, the anger, and how you move forward without losing yourself or your faith. Because let's be honest, when betrayal hits this hard, it's not giving, let me pray about it. It's giving, let me pull up. And we've all been there, haven't we? Chanel, tell me I'm lying.
Tye, you are not lying. And let me just say this. Today's letter, it had me pacing my living room because this is the kind of betrayal that cuts deep. I'm talking about the kind of pain that shakes your confidence, your trust, and sometimes even your faith. But here's the thing, y'all. Betrayal is one of those things that'll make you question everything. Yourself, your worth, and even God's plan for your life. And that's why we're here today. Because when someone you love and trust stabs you in the back, it's not just about what they did to you. It's about how you rise above it. And trust me, you can rise above it. But you can't do it on your own. That's why we're going to break this down, step by step, and remind you that even in the messiest situations, God is still in control. So grab your tea, your snacks, or whatever you need, because when I read this letter, it's about to take you on a ride. All right, y'all, here's the letter. Dear Tye and Chanel, I don't even know where to start because my life has turned into something straight out of a BET drama. So let me give y'all the tea from the top. My so-called best friend, my day one, my sister from another mister, the person I've shared everything with since we were 14, is now with my boyfriend of 5 years. Yes, you heard that right. My best friend and my man, together. Here's how it went down. A couple of months ago, I started noticing little things. She would come around more often, talking about, "Girl, I just wanted to check on you." But she was always side-eyeing him when she thought I wasn't looking. Then my boyfriend started acting funny, keeping his phone on silent, stepping out of the room to take calls, and getting defensive over nothing. My gut was telling me something wasn't right, but I didn't want to believe it. Well, one day I decided to follow my gut. I went through his phone while he was in the shower, and boom, there it was. Text messages, pictures, everything. They weren't even trying to hide it. She was texting him stuff like, "I can't wait until we don't have to sneak around anymore." And, "I'm better for you than she ever was." And he had the nerve to respond, "I know, baby." Tye, Chanel, I lost it. I was shaking. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But instead of blowing up right then and there, I decided to confront her first. So I called her up, like, "We need to talk." She came over to my uncle's house, all clueless, like, "What's up, girl?" That's when I laid it all out. I said, "How long you been messing with my man?" She tried to act dumb at first, talking about, "What are you even talking about?" But then, when I showed her the receipts, she flipped the script. This girl had the audacity to look me in my face and say, "Well, if he wanted me, that's not my fault. Maybe you should have been taking better care of him." Y'all, I saw red. I was ready to drag her right then and there. We started yelling, and it was about to go down, but my uncle stepped in and pulled us apart. He told me she wasn't worth it and that I needed to take the high road. But in that moment, I didn't want to hear none of that. I wanted her to feel the same kind of pain I was feeling. But wait, it gets worse. Fast forward a couple of months, and I find out she's pregnant with his baby. And if that wasn't enough, now they're posting all over Instagram, acting like they're some power couple. The captions, stuff like, "When you find the one God had for you," and "Real love always wins." Y'all, the disrespect is on another level. In the comments, full of people hyping them up like they didn't just destroy everything I built with this man for 5 years. I feel like I'm drowning in anger and humiliation. Part of me wants to pull up on her and finish what we started, but she is so not worth going to jail, and she's pregnant. Another part of me wants to put them both on blast so the world knows exactly who they are. But then there's this little voice in the back of my head telling me to let it go and let God handle it. The problem is, I don't know if I have it in me to be the bigger person. I'm out here trying to heal, but it feels impossible when I see their faces everywhere, flaunting this so-called love story. Tye, Chanel, I need y'all to keep it real with me. How do I move on from this without losing my mind? How do I let go of the anger and pain when it feels like they got off scot-free? Because right now, the petty in me wants to make them suffer. Help me, y'all, because I'm struggling. Y'all, I can't even lie. This one hit me hard. Sis, if you're listening, my heart goes out to you because this is a level of betrayal that'll have anybody ready to throw hands. But Tye, before I go all the way in, let me let you take the mic because I'm going to need a minute.
Sis, first of all, let me say this. You are not alone in this, what they did to you. It's heartbreaking, it's humiliating, and it's unfair. And I know right now it feels like they're winning, but trust me, God sees it all, and he's not going to let this slide. The Bible says, "Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath." That means it's not your job to make them pay, it's his. And let's be clear, their so-called love story. It's built on lies, betrayal, and guilt. It might look pretty on Instagram, but behind the scenes, it's messy and it's not going to last because you can't build something beautiful on a foundation that's rotten.
Tye, you hit the nail on the head. What they did says more about them than it ever will about her. Sis, if you're listening, let me just say this. You didn't deserve this. None of it. And I can feel the anger and the pain in every word of your letter. But here's what I need you to hear. Holding on to that anger isn't going to hurt them. It's only going to hurt you. And let me be clear. When I talk about forgiveness, I'm not saying you forget what they did or let them off the hook. Forgiveness is not about letting them back into your life. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the grip their betrayal has on your heart. Because, sis, the longer you hold on to this pain, the more power you're giving them over your life. And trust me, they don't deserve that kind of control. Forgiveness is a process. It's not something that happens overnight. You might have to take it to God every single day saying, "Lord, I'm hurt. I'm angry, but I'm giving this to you." And that's okay. Healing takes time. But I promise you, when you let God work on your heart, he'll replace that bitterness with peace. And that peace, that's priceless. Now, let's talk about what you can do right now to start moving forward, because I know this feels impossible, but trust me, it's not. Healing starts with small steps. First, block and delete. I'm serious, sis. Block them on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever platform they're flaunting this mess on. You don't need to keep ripping the wound open by seeing their posts. Out of sight, out of mind. Second, get it out. Journal, pray, scream into a pillow. Whatever you need to do to release the anger and the pain. Don't hold it in. Bottling it up will only make it worse. And third, focus on you. This is your time to glow up, sis. Take that energy you were pouring into them and pour it into yourself. Go back to school. Start that business. Hit the gym. Whatever it is, do it. Because the best revenge isn't clapping back. It's leveling up. And trust me, when you start shining, they're gonna notice. Oh, they'll notice.
Chanel's right. And let me add this. Find your support system. Whether it's a trusted friend, a therapist, or a faith community, having people who can walk with you through this will make all the difference. Healing doesn't have to be a solo journey. And sis, don't underestimate the power of prayer. Take it to God every day. Tell him how you feel. Don't hold back, because he already knows your heart, and he's waiting to step in and give you the strength you need to move forward. Listen, sis, I know it feels like your world is falling apart, but let me remind you of this. God doesn't waste pain. The Bible says in Romans 8, verse 28, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. That means even this betrayal, even this heartbreak, it's not the end of your story. It's just a chapter. And the same God who allowed this to happen is the same God who's going to use it for your breakthrough.
And let me remind you, sis, God saw everything. He saw the lies, the betrayal, and the hurt they caused you. And he's not going to let it slide. Isaiah 54 verse 17 says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." That doesn't mean the weapons won't form. It just means they won't win. So while they're out here thinking they've won, God is already setting the stage for your comeback. And let me tell you, when God restores you, he doesn't just put things back the way they were. He makes them better. So trust him, even when it's hard. Before we go, I want to leave you with this. Betrayal hurts, but it doesn't define you. The people who hurt you don't have the final say. God does. So let go of the pain, trust him with the process, and remember that your glow up is already in motion. You might not see it yet, but it's coming.
That's real, Chanel. And sis, if you're listening, know this. You are stronger than you think, and God's got your back. Stay focused, stay prayed up, and let him handle the rest. Because his justice, it's always better than anything we could ever do. All right, family, that's a wrap for today's episode. Y'all already know we love hearing from you, so if you've got a story, a dilemma, or even just something that's been weighing on your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Send us a letter to the email in the video description, or if that's too formal, slide into our DMs on social media. We want to hear it all, the good, the bad, and the juicy. And remember, your story could help someone else see their situation in a whole new light. So don't be shy, sis or bro. We got you. Until next time, stay prayed up, keep it real, and let's keep walking this faith walk together. Peace.